Why is height so important, and should it be?
Yeah, it's really, really, really good question. I mean, the stats are out there. I mean, there aren't that many people who are 6 feet or and above. I think it's 12 for 6 feet. I think it was, 4%, 6'2" and above. And this is people.
Yeah.
This is not just men. Just men. This is men and women. And so sometimes we take for granted when we see a lot of tall people around us, we think it's just they're just everywhere. They're just falling from the trees, and that's just not the case. And I talk to a lot of women about this too, specifically because they care about it a lot. And the two common reasons that they bring up are for genetics and also for safety. A lot of times, women don't necessarily feel safe physically when they're around a guy that is taller than that's shorter than them. Mm-hmm. So that's one part, and then the other part is like if two short people try to have children, it's very likely that they too will be short and maybe even shorter than them. Mm. And so that's also a fear that comes up commonly. It's not necessarily true, but it's just a fear that they just kind of create. And so I think those are the two biggest things. I don't think it's necessary because if a guy is really confident and has a great presence and makes you feel special, it makes you feel sexy, as one of my good friends used to talk about, I think that he can also make you feel safe. And having that physical height is not necessarily enough. I've seen a lot of 6'4" people on YouTube get their ass beat by people who are shorter than them.
Yeah.
And so that's not enough. That physical presence is not always enough to really feel like that's a reason to date taller men.
Yeah, I definitely think the thing I get the most isn't necessarily safety or genetics, which I think are very good issues to bring up.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, a lot of times it's this social norm. Like, girls have to be shorter, guys have to be taller, whatever it is, and that's just not a thing anymore. Yeah. It's not. It's I would date someone, I am short, I would date someone my height. I don't care at all as long as your presence is taller than me and you take up more space energetically than me, I think great. I love it.
Yeah,
I don't think
totally.
it should be an issue.
I don't think so either. Let's start the revolution, right? It doesn't matter how tall they are.
No. Let's date those short people. There's a song about that, right? Short people rule the world.
Is it?
Girls and short people, they rule the world.